In the year to March, Royal Mail made an operating profit of £416 million. Last year, £344 million. Why is it you say there's no money to pay a decent cost of living related increase?
Well, Ian, morning. I think that I would like to start today with an apology, please, for our customers. We understand how disruptive the current situation is. And I'd also like to make it clear that the change that we are asking for is the change that our customers want, which is a 7-day parcel service, and including that very important late night orders that are delivered the next day. And I don't think we can ignore the facts. The facts are that we are losing £1 million a day. And the other fact is that strike action has cost us £100 million a day so far after 8 days of strike action. And the other thing as well is that we have put an offer on the table, an enhanced offer on the table of a 9% pay deal over 18 months, which is costing the business £400 million, even though we are losing that £1 million a day. We need to change. We need to change for our customers, to give our customers what it is that they need.
OK, I mean, I get that, Simon, but the business has been very profitable for the last 2 years. Postal workers were asked to work through the pandemic and they did that uncomplainingly. Why don't they deserve a pay rise linked to the cost of living now?
Well, what I would say is that what we are really focused on is giving the customers what they want. And I think that in the context that we have of losing £1 million a day, and we all can see what's happening around us, both the cost of living crisis that, of course, our team are not immune to, and the fact that the market out there is more challenging in the recessionary reality is that our volumes have come down. These things are true. But what we want to do and what we're really focused on is giving our customers what it is that they need. And I think we can all see that the world has changed around us. We're all getting less letters and people want more parcels. But within that context, what we need is the change. And we're happy to pay for the change, and the more change, the more pay. And we feel that the 9% pay deal against our context of losing £1 million a day is incredibly fair. And the other thing I'd also like to add as well, Ian, is that during our recent intensive talks, and a big thank you to ACAS, who have been magnificent in terms of supporting us, we've also made some key concessions based on what it is that our team have asked for, such as voluntary working on a Sunday. And Ian, if we had been talking last Friday and you'd asked me whether I was confident that we would have had an agreement this week, I would have said yes.
So what's gone wrong?
Well, I think that's a great question, Ian, and it's not one that I can actually answer. But what I would really encourage the CWU to do is to reflect on what changed since last Friday and perhaps get themselves back in the mindset of where we all were last Friday after some very constructive and intensive talks that even went over the weekends, and they've still got a chance to save Christmas and their members' jobs. And I would also just like to add, it's really important to emphasise that more of our units are open today and more of our people are actually back at work today.
You've talked about the need for modernisation, Simon, but I mean, it's been known for years. It was known at privatisation that Royal Mail needed to modernise. Why have you only just started pushing through modernisation in the last year or so?
Well, Ian, I can only reflect on my time as a chief executive over the last 20 months. And, we've invested £900 million on the infrastructure to win in the market. We've our beautiful super hub in Warrington is up and running, is ramping up to plan. We had parcels automation that was less than 30%. Less than 2 years ago. We're now at the 70% mark, and I was at our super hub in the Midlands as well, which means we can really compete and win in the parcels market, and that was looking magnificent as well, and that will come on stream in the summer. So what I am really focused on is what's ahead of us, and what I would say is that our customer experience on the doorstep remains really great. The Citizens Advice did a survey last week, and we are #1 versus our competitors. And a big thank you to our team for making that happen on the doorstep as well. Our infrastructure is coming on stream exactly as we planned. The problem to solve is the ways of working, and we are happy to pay for that change. And that's why we have offered a £400 million worth of 9% pay increase over the next 18 months.
Now, your parent company, International Distribution Services, has been talking increasingly about spinning off GLS, which is the very profitable international parcels business. What sort of future would a standalone Royal Mail have under those circumstances?
Well, Ian, what I'm focused on is turning around Royal Mail in the UK. And, I said it very, very clearly last year at our half-year results that I will do and we will do whatever it takes. We did say back at our AGM earlier on in the year that, of course, all options are open and we won't cross-subsidise between GLS, our international business, and Royal Mail in the UK. But look, I'm focused on the turnaround. And what we need is the change to win and compete in the market. And I've always been confident that we can do just that. Our customer experience is great. Our infrastructure is coming on stream. What we need is the ways of working to reflect that. And we've always said we're happy to pay for that. And that is exactly what our deal is about.
Well, something else that could really benefit you is a watering down of the universal service obligation, which obviously costs you a great deal of money. I mean, that's in the gift of the government. What doesn't the government get about the need to alter the terms of the USO?
Well, Ian, in terms of the USO, there are two key criteria that need to be met. One is that it's financially viable and one that it meets the needs of the customers. I think if we start with the needs of the customers, Ofcom did their own review some time back that said that a 5-day letter service would meet 97% of customers' needs. It's also worth bearing in mind, and I think we can all see that in terms of our own letterboxes, that in 2004-2005, we delivered 20 billion letters a year. It's now 8 billion. And actually, during COVID, the letter decline was around about 25%. And what the customers also say is they want a 7-day parcel business. I think in terms of the financial viability side of stuff, we're losing £1 million a day. This year, we're forecast to lose between 350 and 450 million pounds a day. What we want to do is make sure we're doing the right thing for the customers, which is a 7-day parcel service, and make sure that's what we're investing in. And we're spending our time also on what customers want and not on what customers no longer want.
All right, Simon, before I let you go, should I be posting any presents that I buy online now in order to them giving them a chance of getting to my loved ones by Christmas Day?
Well, Ian, I feel very sad to say what I'm going to say. And what I would, be clear is please go to our websites and have a look at the latest information. And we will do everything that we can. And a big thank you to our non-operational managers who are out and about delivering today. But I would say to everyone, please post early for Christmas.
Now, Simon, we spoke to Dave Ward from the CW earlier. You talked about having held discussions with him over the weekend. He told us on Sky News this morning he'd be prepared to meet with you today or tomorrow. Is that possible?
Ian, we are always available to talk, but I just want to make it really clear that we have been talking intensively over the last 3 weeks with the help of ACAS, including all of the weekends, and we have now made our final offer. So what I would really encourage the CW to do, and actually the CW leadership to do, is really take the chance now to reflect on saving Christmas and their members' jobs. And I really hope that they make the right decision.